like 2024, I only got a year older, then maybe you haven't allowed yourself as the object to be impacted by enough outside forces. See, every time I read a book, I'm allowing myself as the object to be impacted by an outside force. Every time I engage in a conversation, engage in a relationship, make a decision to learn a new skill, every time I do that, I'm allowing myself to be impacted by an outside force. There are people. By the way, we want to make sure, if I don't predetermine what the outside force is going to be, then the outside force might move me in a direction that I don't really desire to end up. So I might be the object at rest. But then again, I might be the outside force. Let's say my finances aren't what I'd like them to be. Then I have to become an outside force that impacts my finances in a way that causes them to move in a direction I desire them to move. Is what I'm saying making some sense? Okay, so I could either be the object at rest, or I could be the outside force that's moving the object that's at rest. Or, more than likely, I'm both in some way, shape, or form. But if I'm aware of the fact that I'm both, now I can do something about it. But if I'm unaware, then I think that, well, things just happen to me. Well, that's not actually true. Things don't just happen to you. They happen because of something that you have done or have not done. Not always, but often. These are, like, if you fully buy into the belief system that I'm about to share with you, it will change your life in every area. It'll make your family better. It'll make your finances better. It'll make your fitness better. It'll make everything better if you apply what I'm attempting to get across to you. And I think the reason I'm so intense is because what I'm sharing with you has impacted my life more greatly in the last year, or in my whole life, than maybe any other applied principle. I was even applying it in some areas before I knew I was applying it, okay? So, here's the belief. In order for any aspect of my life to get better, it requires energy and intention. High energy, deliberate intention is what's required to make any area of my life better. What's required? High energy, deliberate intention. What's required? High energy. Everybody, what's required? High energy and deliberate intention. That's required for my life to get better. In what area? Any area. Everybody tracking? You want to learn a new language? You want to learn to play a musical instrument? You want to have a better relationship? You want to find a spouse? You want to become wealthy? You want to get in shape? It requires high energy and deliberate intention. But in order for things to get worse, it requires neither energy nor intention. It only requires neglect. So, like, if you really get this, now I'm about to say it. Everybody ready? Say, I'm ready. Okay, here it is. If you really get this, in order for your life to get worse, all you have to do is not apply energy and intention to making it better. Like, really let that marinate. If you are not intentionally using your energy to make your life better, by default, everybody tap yourself on the chest, say me. You are making your life worse. Wait, what? Now, are y'all with me? Are y'all picking up everything I'm putting down so far? Because now we're about to get into the juicy. So there are six areas. I'm going to do them in what appears to be the closest thing that I can find to the reverse order of importance. They're all important. Reverse order of importance doesn't mean some of these are unimportant and some of these are important. They're all important. They're all almost all important. But some are more important than others. So we're gonna go in reverse order because I want to save the best for last. So, okay, it's doing that thing again. So here's what we're gonna do. Ta-da. Okay. So, reverse order. How do you make your finances better? This is not to say This is not, how do I make my finances better? This is not to say that finances are not important. Just of all the things I'm going to talk about, they seem to me to be the lowest, even though it's maybe one of the least important of these very important things. It's one of the first things that you got to get figured out. Even though it's one of the least important things, it's one of the first things you got to. Why do I have to get this figured out first if it's one of the least important things? This is going to do what it's going to do. I'm fine with that. Just hang in there with me. Why is it so important to figure it out first? Because in the words of Jim Rohn, he said, money won't solve all your problems. But if you get the money problem solved fairly quickly, you can get to the rest of your problems in style. Okay? So I'm going to go with what Jim Rohn said. Okay, I'm going to go here again, and then I'm going to go canvas, and hopefully it'll be done. Nope. Just go back. Okay, there we go. Cool. So there we go. So, finances. So, when it comes to my finances, there are 3 things in my finances that I've got to apply energy and intention to. But here's the overarching ideology. If I am not intentionally using my energy to get richer today, did you hear what I just said? Yeah. Then I am unintentionally becoming poor today. I am not staying the same. So here's the overarching idea. Everything in my life is either getting better or it's getting worse. Nothing is staying the same. Well, I just want to be comfortable. Good luck with that. It's not going to work. And by the way, remember I showed you inertia first, right? An object at rest will remain at rest. Even an object at rest is not staying the same. It's just staying in the same place. Are y'all tracking? So just because an object at rest will remain at rest until unless it's acted upon by an outside force, that doesn't mean it's staying the same. It's just staying in the same place. And so what you've got to decide is, am I going to get richer today? Am I going to get poorer today? And see, if I were younger and still working at my job, and I wanted to figure out a way to create wealth for my family, and my job wasn't going to provide that wealth, in my discretionary time that I have, that's not my employer-directed time, I would be figuring out things I could do to first and foremost increase my leverage, financial leverage, in the form of cash flow. I just did a video recently called Cash Flow over Cash Grow. You can go back and watch that video. I think it was from like last Monday. Leverage, cash flow. Every one of us, if we are not getting richer today, by improving our leveraged cash flow, then we are by default getting poorer today. Now, getting richer today doesn't necessarily mean that I sold something today. But if I didn't sell something today, I did something today that'll help me sell something today or tomorrow or the next day. If I didn't sell something today, I figured out something that I could sell today and maybe something I can sell every day. Right? Like anybody who's listening to me right now, like how can I make money without spending money? You could go become an affiliate of anybody who has an affiliate offer. Promote an affiliate offer every day. Like you could send out 10 inbox messages to friends or people that you know on the internet or people who've commented on your post and say, hey, I took this challenge called the Make More Offers Challenge, and if you're an affiliate of mine, you can promote the Make More Offers Challenge, and every time somebody buys a VIP ticket, I pay you $148.50. And it doesn't have to be my offer. I'm not trying to get you to promote my offers, but you have to have somebody's. And so if you're like promote my offers, then it's mmocAffiliates.com. You fill out the affiliate application, and then you can get paid. Like, we're going to send out the money every month, whether you're getting some of it or not. Is what I'm saying making sense? Okay, so I'm going to increase my leverage cash flow today. So every day of my life, I'm thinking about what kind of supporting offers can I create that fit into my current offer ecosystem. I'm not going to create some new thing, so I've got all these things to juggle. I realize, I'm aware of the fact that every time a solution is created, that solution creates 10 new problems. So I have to be astute enough to figure out what the 10 new problems are, and then figure out how to solve one of those, and then just make offers on that. Right? So So A, leverage, okay? B, lifestyle. So what does lifestyle look like in my finances? It looks like, what am I building today that I may not be getting paid for today, but that will eventually pay me from now on so that I can have lifestyle? See, my lifestyle can be supported by my ongoing monthly recurring revenue sources. Because monthly recurring revenue for us is over $250,000 a month before I get out of bed. If you got over $250,000 a month coming in before you get out of bed, guess what that means? That means if you don't want to, you don't have to get out of bed. Okay, but I do want to. I do want to. But what it does is it gives me lifestyle choices. Because now I'm not making choices based on whether or not I can afford it. I'm just making choices based on whether or not it's a good choice. Right? And so what if all of your choices could be choices that you made because they were the choices that you desired to make, instead of choices that you felt like you had to make because that's all your money would allow you to make? See, people love to quote that no man can serve two masters, right? You will love one and hate the other, or hold to one and despise the other, but nobody ever slows down enough to ask, what is a master? What is a master? A master is someone that owns you and controls your decision making. Well, here's what I found out. Money was much more of a master for me when I didn't have any, because it told me what I could and could not do. Money told me that I couldn't go to close relatives' funerals in the past because I didn't have the money. So money was my master when I didn't have any. Money is no longer a master. I am now money's master. It does what I tell it to do. I don't do what it tells me to do because it can't tell me to do nothing. So lifestyle can be created by creating monthly recurring revenue sources. By the way, you could do that by selling affiliate offers to software as a service. There's this one software as a service. They pay me, I don't know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month because of people that I've referred to use their software. And so they just deposit money into my account every month, twice a month. I'm like, okay, cool, right? So that's lifestyle. And then, so this is talking about like business active cash flow. This is talking about business more passive or deferred cash flow. And then the last one when it comes to finances is legacy. Legacy, what's legacy? Legacy is the wealth that I'm creating for my descendants. It's the money that I'm going to use to pay for the house for my children when they get married. It's the money that I'm going to use to give to my grandchildren so that none of my children, none of my descendants ever have to start from scratch. You do realize that's God's original design for families, is that no new generation ever starts from scratch. So, legacy. What am I investing into today that will perpetuate the family's wealth instead of decimating the family's wealth? Because I'm investing in something, while even though cash flow is over cash grow, and cash flow is more important than cash accumulation is still important, not for me, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and thieves break through and steal. I'm not laying up wealth for myself on earth. I'm laying up wealth for my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my great-great-great, and no, I'm not going to give it to a nonprofit organization that I know nothing about so that they can give it to the people to the causes they think are important. I'm going to give it to the causes that God told me are important, my descendants. Why? I believe it's the right thing to do. Okay, so everybody got it. Finances. Either I'm getting richer today or I'm getting poorer today. So the question I've got to ask and answer for myself is, do I desire to get richer today or do I desire to get poorer today? So that's finances. Number 2 is friendships. It is not good for man to be alone. It is not good for man to be alone. Yes, man needs a wife. That's not all it's talking about. People need people. I don't like people. Doesn't matter if you like them or not, you still need them. People drain my battery. Great. They drain your battery. They can make sure, since they drain your battery, like make sure that you are vested in connecting with people because it will make you better. And there's a very good possibility it'll make you richer as well. People need people. Do you realize this is how much people need people? If you were the only person on earth and you owned everything, you'd be the richest person who's frustrated that ever existed. Because you go to the gas station, there would be nobody there to pump the gas. So you say, I can pump it myself, except there's nobody at the electric company to turn on the electric. So now you got to go to the electric company and turn on electric. But then again, do you even know how to do that? So now you're stuck like chucking a pickup truck, riding a bicycle all over town, even though you own all the cars. Why? Because there's nobody else around. See, your life is supported by millions of people that you will never meet. And I don't like people. Like them or not, you need them. Why? Because God set it up that way. So, when it comes to friendships, in order of priority, in my opinion, long-time friendships. I'm just going to put LT. Long-time friendships. Like, make sure you do things to maintain those long-time. I've got friends I've had since I've got people in my life that I've been friends with since I was a teenager. There are people in my life that I've been friends with since I was in my 20s. There are people in my life that I've been friends with since I was in my 30s. And we're still connected. And I reach out to these people. Why? Because it requires energy and intention to maintain good relationships over a long period of time. Is what I'm saying making sense?
Yes.
Okay. Long time. Okay. And then what I call developing relationships. They're not super long, but maybe they're a few months old. Maybe they're a few years old. Maybe they're a decade old. They're developing relationships. And these are relationships that I'm figuring out how I can serve these people more and engage with these people more. Beware of him who has no old friends. There is a reason for that. Beware even more of he or she who has no friends, because there's a reason for that. Okay, so developing friends. Developing friends is important because, like, I have my children. I love talking to my children. That's not enough. I love talking to my wife. That's not enough. I love talking to my old friends. That's not enough. Why? Because people need people. People don't just need a person. All I need is my person. No. You may be deceived into thinking that all you need is your person, but I'm telling you that God says you need people. And he ain't gonna be right about heaven and wrong about that. Okay. And then new friends. New friends go into environments with the high energy, intentional, deliberate intention to discover and develop new friendships. Why? Because it makes you a better person. I don't need any more friends. But you need to be a friend to more people. Whether you need new friends or not. Because sometimes you need to be a friend because they need a friend, not because you need a friend. Well, I wish I had. Okay, y'all are tracking. So friendships. So either my long-term developing and new friendships are getting better today, or am I willing to get better, or am I going to settle for getting worse? Because that's really what it boils down to every time. And I'm not going to give everybody else objective, but I believe everybody would benefit. Everybody under the sound of my voice right now, whether you're in the YouTube sphere or in this room, your life would be better if you'd learn another language and learn to play a musical instrument. Both of those. And you could jump on both of those journeys in 2024. Why? Because it'll make everything else you have to do better. Because it will improve your cognitive ability by learning a language and learning a musical instrument. So here's the question. So every time you get ready, am I going to read this book or am I going to go watch TV? Okay. And there's nothing wrong with watching TV if you're not broke. If you're broke and you're watching TV now, we got a problem. If you're doom scrolling and you're broke, another problem. Why? Because you can't afford it. It's costing you too much. But do I want to get smarter today or do I want to get dumber today? Because if I'm not learning something new, I'm losing something old. So which is it going to be? Well, for me, it's going to be, I'm going to learn something new today. I am going to learn something new today. Why? Because today is the day. Today is the day to learn something new. And I'm not going to be dumber tomorrow. I'm going to learn something new today or be dumber tomorrow. I'm not going to be dumber tomorrow. We ain't going backwards. We're not here to create negative momentum. Okay, number 2. So I'm discovering new principles, but I'm developing new skills. I'm developing myself to apply these new things that I'm learning, and I'm working on them, and I'm creating new neural pathways in my mind and in my body so that I can do things today that felt impossible yesterday, so when I face something that looks impossible tomorrow, I'll know that it's not impossible, but instead that it's I'm possible. Why? Because I've applied myself to developing myself in applying the principles that I've discovered. And yes, this sounds like work. It is work. That's the point. It is work. And then, once I discover these new principles and I develop these new principles, then I deploy myself in the use of these new principles that with these new skills that I've developed. Every time you have a decision to make, here's the question. Am I willing to get better? They're getting worse. And by friendship, all of my relationships, it's getting better, it's getting worse. This week, it's getting better, it's getting worse. This month, it's getting better, it's getting worse. This year, it's getting better and getting worse. Okay. I got one for you. Number 3, in the arena of our focus. Now, when I say focus, what I'm talking about is learning new things and developing new skills. In the area of my focus, what am I focused on? Do you realize if you're not focused on learning something new, you are not only not getting smarter, you're actually getting dumber because memories erode. Entropy applies to memories. Wow. So I have to intentionally use my energy to be becoming better in the areas of my focus, in my learning. I've got to be, 1, discovering new things I don't know. Like I've got to be discovering age-old principles. They've been here for thousands of years, but I haven't uncovered them yet. Because if I'm not discovering new principles, this is why I believe it's important